The Universal Baseball Association. Let's talk about that. Folks, welcome back to the Baseball Brewhaha. Great to have you. It's Christmas week. We're getting ready to celebrate. We'll be sharing some of our gifts on our next show. But for today, we got a little conversation to have. There's this book that Adam recommended to me. It's called The Universal Baseball Association Incorporated. J. Henry Waugh. Did you say Waugh? Waugh?
Waugh, maybe?
Yeah, proprietor. Now, this was written in like 1968. And we're not going to talk about all of this. We're going to circle back to it because I'm not done with it yet. But a huge part of this story, really the whole revolving of this story, is this guy. This is nonfiction, by the way. Is this guy who invents this baseball dice game, and he plays it a lot. And so we want to have a little conversation about hobbies, particularly related to baseball. And you and I have done some baseball dice together.
We have. Let's pause for a minute.
Okay.
You said this is nonfiction.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Oh no. I meant yes.
this
My
is
bad.
a work of fiction.
It is a work. It is a novel. I said nonfiction, and my brain said fiction.
Yeah, which is important because this, you know,
But
it could be.
Yes. I mean, it's not
It could be.
the way this unfolds. It could be. It's not like some, but anyway.
No. Yeah, it's not. There's no vampires.
Yeah.
Ghosts.
No.
AI taking over the world.
Right. Yeah, it's all of it exists, and which is not atypical for a novel, but this one definitely where it exists in the realm of it could happen, but it is not a true story. It is a novel. So,
Yeah, and you mentioned before I interjected there, you were starting to talk about dice baseball games, which this book is about. A very nuanced, I feel like doesn't even do this book justice when we're talking about nuanced dice baseball game. We're levels. We're
Yeah.
levels. Here,
Yeah.
the dice baseball that you and I play, it's not even in the same league as our
No.
friend in this book.
No, and the dice game that I have, I don't have it with me right now. But it's very basic. Like you have two dice and every combination results in on base or out. Okay, pretty basic. It has no accounting at all. If you're playing with like a roster of like if let's say you drafted baseball cards, there's no accounting for the level of talent of the players that are on your team. Okay. It just is what it is. And so it can leave you wanting in some regards, but you just play what it is. The thing that's a challenge as I read this book is I find myself jealous.
Okay.
Now we'll talk more about the fullness because I'm not fully jealous. But there's part of me that's like there are one of the challenges when you look for baseball games, board games, whatever it might be, finding one that as closely as possible represents real baseball is difficult. And what he has done here is maybe as close as you're going to get for a dice game.
Yeah, the game that is described here is from a board game sense is going to be much closer to a Stratomatic experience,
Mhm.
which is a deep dive into the world of baseball in the form of a board game. So much of the more realistic baseball experiences that are not actually going out and playing in a baseball game that is real is now taken over pretty much almost entirely by the video game world.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, and I know, for instance, our dad played a version of Dice Baseball. I'm curious how advanced it was. So, Dad, feel free to drop some comments in there. Let us know. I'm curious. I know you've mentioned it, but I can't remember if it was kind of advanced or somewhere in the middle. Not sure. Um, so now the thing that I kind of want to talk about here is whether it's baseball or something else. I feel like most people have hobbies, like things that they just do for really just for the enjoyment of the activity. Um, and and so this book starts to beg the question, at what point does that hobby become unhealthy? Now, I think there's pretty obvious things, but I wanted to just pose that question and throw it to you, Adam. And you know, I don't want to judge somebody's parade, but and life circumstance matters too. So, Adam, take it where you will.
That's such a great question, and um, versions of this question get asked to me actually on a somewhat regular basis. You know, when should I be worried about this thing, or when should I be worried about that thing? The most generic response that I think about, and when you pose this question, what jumps to mind right away is um, it becomes troublesome. Something becomes troublesome when it's interfering with your ability to do the things in your life that you would normally do.
Yeah.
So, a hobby would perhaps become an unhealthy obsession if you're not going to work, you've cut off all your, you start cutting off your social ties,
Mhm.
family, you're not feeding the dog, doing the things that you need to do as a person in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think even you start teetering if um those things, even if you are doing them, like the quality of your relationships or the quality of your work is really starting to suffer as a result. So that's certainly in play. So um I'm curious if you've ever gotten into that situation before with a hobby or something else.
Mm,
Because the interesting thing too is that I don't want to call relationships a hobby, but um, the same thing can happen with like a relationship, especially
yeah,
younger. You could be older too. Um, falling in love, and you're spending time with this other person, and now there's songs about this. Beautiful Mess, Diamond Rio. Anybody?
yeah.
Um, so anyway,
I, in my experience, and really just thinking about it in general, anything could become that. Your
yeah,
job, workaholic,
yeah, for sure.
alcoholic,
Mhm,
anything-aholic,
mhm, mhm,
shopaholic. Anything can be
mhm,
taken to an extreme that interferes with your ability to pay bills or maintain relationships or do your job or to stay healthy with your body or and that could be healthy in terms of eating too much of bad food or not eating enough food.
mhm.
you know? And so really this could be anything. So when you ask the question, have I ever had some sort of like hobby or a thing that's like that? I mean, I think there have been times, you know,
Hmm.
um, uh, where for a period of time, I've had things like that, like a romantic relationship or new child is born, whole world, boom, right there, that thing.
Hmm.
But if the window doesn't expand back out, that's where it becomes uh, tough. Here's another example. Our family
Hmm.
just got a new dog.
Congratulations, petdom.
Thanks. Thank you. We love Charlie. And
Charlie.
Charlie,
Yeah,
Charlie is like taking up a lot of mental, emotional energy, time,
is
space,
is
all.
Charlie potty trained?
No.
Okay. I I feel you. You
Yeah.
got another infant in your
Yeah.
home,
We have an infant that,
but not doesn't wear diapers.
yeah. And will not grow out of infancy either. Um, so, but then, like over time, you build that capacity back out, you focus on other things, but it's
Hmm.
when you can't ever leave that zone. That's
Hmm.
where it's tough. And so for me, I would say I can't think of a thing that
Hmm.
has overtaken my life in such a way that it torpedoed significant things that I was like, oh, wow, I better step back.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know that I have either. There's certainly been moments like I mean, I remember like maybe what more comes up is like you stay up late doing a thing and then you get tired at work the next day or something like that. But it's different if it's one time and you're still able to be somewhat productive versus like chronically missing work, whatever it might be. Um, that's affecting those things. So, um, yeah, yeah, that's it is a challenge though because like I can even like especially during baseball season, I think I can find myself like looking forward to the Mariners game, and then I'm not like abandoning my family, but like a little less interested in playing with the kids or wrestling with the kids because I want to like watch the Mariners game, whatever it would be.
Yeah.
So I
I
think
will.
teeter on some of that.
The one time that I can think of, though it didn't really get in the way because I work in schools, you know that if you've been watching, but if you're new, I work in schools. So summertime, my schedule is much more flexible. I have longer periods of time off. Early in my career, I was living and working in South Korea. If you've lived there, summer, it's toasty. Although toasty is like gives you a dry air sort of vibe. It's hot, it's muggy, you don't want to be outside. S-
Well, and I mean, more specifically, because I lived in Korea as well, South
Yeah.
Korea. Um, Generally, like August 1st to like September 10th,
Yeah.
just straight misery.
Yeah. And so I was in it. I had air conditioner. I had a comfortable, like leather reclining chair
Hmm.
directly underneath the air conditioning. And I found myself on my laptop a Super NES emulator
Nice.
and played a whole bunch of Ken Griffey Jr. baseball, hours, days, sleeping, eating. It was, hit or miss whether the basic functions were happening, you
And in the
know,
game, hit or
and
miss.
right. And I was playing
Mm.
seasons. I renamed the entire Mariners roster because in that game they had logo rights but
Mm.
not rights to the players'
Players.
names. So I renamed everybody on every team, not just the Mariners.
Commitment.
Everybody on every team played a full season,
Mm-hmm.
you know, started playing another one before I was like, boy, I ought to get a
I gotta
life.
I gotta get a light. Hashtag Brian Regan.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, when I was there too, I played a lot of I think it was who was it? Triple play or I don't even remember what it was back then, but um yeah, yeah, I played a lot as well. I don't think I got quite as deep. Um, but I also didn't have big long breaks like that either. So,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
well, folks, thanks for hanging with us on this conversation. I'm curious if you've got hobbies, things that you enjoy doing, maybe things that you enjoy doing so much that it's threatened to engulf other parts of your life. Love to hear about it. Um, thanks for hanging with us. We'll be back at it again. We'll be back at it again next time. See you.